When I started to think about what I was going to say about John, or plan about what I was going to say about John, I soon realised something. I find it incredibly hard to express the extent of my utter admiration and respect for John Green. So when I was trying to figure out how to begin, I reached the rather obvious conclusion to start at the beginning. I found John on his collaborative YouTube channel with his brother, TheVlogBrothers, and from there I heard about his work. John for me is more than just a favourite author. I found him at a time when I was figuring out who I was, and he and his brother Hank had created this online community where being nerdy and enthusiastic about things and being enthusiastic about learning was not only accepted, but encouraged. This was a time when I was still scared to admit I loved school or that I'm a die-hard Potter fan, and things like Nerdfighteria gave me the courage to accept that and embrace it and be proud of it. The community he and Hank created was one factor among other things which helped me to start to figure out who I wanted to be and then become that. Some people might scoff at that, saying the influence of a YouTuber is silly, but I disagree. I have found a vast number of role models amongst the community, John and Hank just being two. As Hank put it in a recent video, in life you should always create, despite a fear of how it will be received, and to be consciously creating yourself every day to make you the you that you feel best inside. So for me, John, and Hank, but this video is mainly about John, is a huge inspiration for me in life in general and as an author. When talking about books at the Carnegie Hall in New York, when he did the talk with John amongst other people in celebration of the first anniversary of The Fault in Our Stars publication, he said, "This is what I love about novels, both reading and writing them. They jump into the abyss to be with you where you are." And I thought this was so beautiful, and it perfectly represents what books are for so many people, a companion when life gets a little overwhelming. And John, your books, they jump into the abyss to be with me.
Still, I love, and whatever we have is something I choose to be a part of.
I don't think I'm gonna quickly forget what it felt like to watch John talk at the Carnegie Hall for the first time. And yes, I watched it on the live stream, but the things that he said actually made me cry. It was so moving, and to hear him talk about his work and the thought process and the struggle to reach the conclusion of The Fault in Our Stars, you know, without all these cliches or stupid things that he struggled with along the way. It was just so inspirational, and I cannot wait to see him for myself. Next Sunday, I get the pleasure of seeing him speak in London, and Hank is actually going to be a guest star. Every other day or every day I suddenly remember that in a couple of days, in less than a week, I'm going to be in the same room as two people that I admire more than so many, like more than anyone else. I can't list names of celebrities or recognize faces in popular culture, but I can recognize John and Hank, and they're the people that influence me and have made my life different, and that's amazing, and I cannot wait to get the pleasure of seeing them in person. My biggest dream is not to run up to him at some signing or some event and scream and fangirl and tell him how much he's influenced me, but to have a conversation with him, to sit down with a coffee or a meal and just enjoy real conversation, discuss his work, maybe tell him how much he's impacted me. That is a dream. But to have a genuine connection with him as a human being, not just scream at him because I'm a fan, that's what I wish for. That is my dream. And if that is never my reality, that's okay too, because my infinite respect and admiration for John will never change, and the fact that he changed my life, I'll never forget. Not ever. Thank you, John. DFTBA.